So I thought this was super interesting. I saw this commercial. Well, it came up as they do on YouTube. And I just really thought it was interesting, the way it was presented and the kind of things that were being said. I was like, this isn't about cognac at all. So it just got me, it got me on one thing about all kinds of things, such as time and cymatics and patterns. And I figured we'd talk about some of that today. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play the advert for you, and then let's chat about it a little bit. I gotta make it good and loud so that you can hear it. And I'm not gonna do full screen because that did not work yesterday.
Dare to taste the Louis XIII experience, where time is circular. The House of Louis XIII invites you to join those who think a century ahead and create the future by changing their own time. Each decanter is the life achievement of generations of cellar masters, and the opportunity to combine past and future into one single moment of excellence. Dare to taste the Louis XIII experience, where time is circular.
Okay, so how many cerns did you see in the middle of all that? Let's go back for a minute. Just pick out a couple of interesting parts. So we have the conscious C that starts off with, and then a cymatic ripple that goes out. Then you have these things here, the two circles that are encircling around. That is the same mechanism that's used on the Time Machine movie. I do believe the one with Samantha Mumba. Yeah, that the machine has a similar thing where it's enclosed in circles. And then also Alice Through the Looking Glass, which is a different type of time machine, but nonetheless, it is one. Where is the chronosphere? It uses the same method. So there's obviously something. Here it is in its small form, and it's doing that. But when it's large, it's like a ship, or it's pretty much the same as this. Like she can sit in it and travel through time. So I was just actually thinking a couple of days before this even happened, what would the circular version of a tesseract be? And I was picturing like all of these, infinitesimal circles folding in and out on themselves. But I wonder if this would be a more efficient model for a fourth dimensional circle. And maybe that's what's going on here. Anyway, let's... Oh, good. I was checking to see if it was actually screen sharing or if it was just trolling me. Cool. Oh, whoops. Accidentally went into full screen. Not going to do that because it doesn't work. I don't know if they mean anything by... Well, I suppose they do, because look here in the ripple, there's a fleur-de-lis pattern, and then on the bottle itself, there's a fleur-de-lis. Circles within circles within circles, and even these spines on the side of the bottle looks like CERN. So that's kind of wild. There's the heavens. Now we have multiple... That was pretty quick, what I was going to say. Now we have multiple circles going on in the liquid conscious sea. So it started off with 1 ripple, now we have at least 3. Time is circular, it says. And here we have a dividing. And I know it's like, okay, well, this is the stairs and a doorway. Yeah, but also this could be symbolism for like parting of the Red Sea or the 2 hemispheres of the brain. There's a lot of things that could be there. And then this, to me, this is Egypt above and Egypt below. Like, these look like pyramids, and that's the rising sun. And it's something that I haven't seen very much here in Orion, but in Sagittarius, there was a lot of symbolism of the sun being at the top of the pyramid or behind the top of the pyramid, and that was a really important moment or like time of the day, or like that was a big part of the symbolism. Like I said, I don't really see it around here, but it did strike me that the pyramid cap being surrounded by the sun or being in line with the sun was something that was very important. And I suppose it's interesting that one of the pyramids has the sun at the summit and the other one doesn't in the upside down world, because the summit of it is here. Okay, let's see what else. There's probably loads of stuff in here that I'm missing, but there's just so much. These look like Archie's somatic experiments with booze and light, and using cymatics and using vodka as a medium to get language out of split light. Or you could also say, well, it's not just 3 ripples now, the whole conscious sea, the whole pool is rippling, and it also looks like there could be a divide going down the middle. So this could also be looking at a brain from the top. Like, this is the center ridge, and these are the 2 hemispheres that are like denser and darker at the sides. By changing their own time, by making the past and the future one moment, by bringing it all into singularity. Like, and this I definitely think is the 2 hemispheres here. That's immediately what came to mind when they played that. Okay. Now, this part, I don't know, you could read into it and say, like, all kinds of stuff, like normal truther stuff of, oh, it takes generations of people to put the New World Order together. But that's not really my focus, because those people don't matter, especially when you're going from timeline to timeline. You're not in the specific, worlds that they're messing with. You're just seeing snapshots of different ones. So those people are irrelevant to us, while they're like central to the rest of the truth community. Okay, now this is interesting here, where we have an eclipse and we have a half moon, I think. And then we have the sun going from the summit of the old pyramid to the upside down world pyramid, the new pyramid. And then, ooh, mirror, portal travel, secrets in the refraction of light, perhaps, such as these. 11, 11, 11. And that was the singularity moment there, because that's when he's saying, bring the past and the future into the singularity. So we are seeing 11s all over the place. And perhaps this is even like converging of timelines or something crazy, because it all comes into one moment and becomes just one fully animated. Oh, and this is very much CERN gate to me. That beautiful CERN on screen. It does, like, the machine does look kind of like an eye, a little bit, like the pupil of an eye. And of course, they have many machines, and some of them look crazier than others, but Yeah. Let's see, where's the picture with all the wires hanging out of it? That's a pretty good one. Might not be able to find it because I didn't have it lined up. Which is my own disorganization. But at any rate, I think that that's not just a pupil oculus symbol, but it's also alluding to CERN right there. And also, you know what, that could be a manifold of the whiskey bottles. If you're looking at the whiskey bottles as timelines, this could be a manifold of I don't even know how many different timelines of the same whiskey bottle is there, but they're like all overlapping to the point where they're becoming a brand new pattern. Where time is circular. And that's it. So that's quite interesting. I will link to that in the bottom of the in the description box. So that got me thinking about the kind of space that we find ourselves existing in this place. And to me, at any rate, when you're getting into a deep meditative state and you're really seeing things more for, I wouldn't say more for what they are, but you're looking more through the third eye than the two, I get a much greater recognition of distance and space, and it seems far more like a 3D grid. As in, at first, it kind of like my vision will kind of bulge out circularly, and things look a little bit distorted, like I'm watching a movie on a curved television. Have you ever seen one of those curved televisions? Let's see if I can get a picture of one. Yeah, like this. Like, it's like everything around me, it becomes almost flat and it turns into like this curved television kind of look. And that's before I break into like seeing things as a 3D grid. So yeah, it looks very much like that, but it's very strange because people look two-dimensional, like on front of me, but freaking two-dimensional when I'm seeing like this. And then, but not cats. So it's very strange when you're looking at a person and a cat at the same time, because the cats stay three-dimensional and I can judge distance very well with them, and I can judge the their shape and size, whereas a lot of the like Orion stuff turns flat and curved. And then, like I said, I break into the next level, which is seeing things in a grid form. Yeah, very much like this. Like this will be, like if I'm inside here, it's like, oh, all of a sudden I can really see where the sofa is and where the things on the wall are. It's like the interference that's on how I perceive the world, I can override it for a while. I'd like to be able to see like this all the time. Because it's more accurate, and also things that are bullshit go flat, so you don't have to ask questions, you can just look at things and be like, oh, okay. Yes, I'm not sure if other people are really seeing that or not, but that's what's up with me. But I wanted to talk about how it's not just sofas and things that one could see as shapes in this whole debacle. Just thinking about anything as waveforms, and I mean looking at the whole thing as a cymatic pattern, right? Looking at your entire self as a cymatic pattern, you have the shape that your body is, the shape that your emotions are, as in love and hate and everything has its own waveforms. Your thought and memory cymatics, they all have their own shapes. And then the speed at which you're moving at, affects what you are literally perceiving and how things are interacting with you. So even though a lot of you may or may not have different levels of awareness of this, the speed at which you're moving is really out of sync with Orion time. Some of you are experiencing time going very, very, very slowly, and some of you are experiencing time going really, really, really quickly. And being out of sync with time, I think, is one of the main keys to not getting the downloads, to be able to see what's going on, because you're running faster than the program or slower than the program. So you're able to maneuver and actually have freedom within the confines of what otherwise would be like a movie that you're stuck in. So the people that are not in your position, it's like they have this television like chained to their heads. They can't look away from this television. That's the only reality they can see. Whereas you're in a position that you're in this much larger space and you can see, oh, there's a TV here, but I don't have to look at it. I can, I don't have to look at the programming of what this reality wants me to believe, because I can see all these other things going on and I can make my own mind up. But yeah, I suppose one of the things that advert got me thinking about is how love and hate and everything is its own cymatic shape. These are all shapes. All of these things are electrical shapes. And if one was able to narrow down exactly what those looked like, you would be able to copy it. You would be able to reproduce it. It's really quite interesting to think of the self or the ego self as electrical impulses on a 3D grid, because if you could really understand what you are, you could just suddenly decide to be all of the waveforms, shape, speed, emotion, and otherwise of any point of yourself. And what I mean by that is, like, you could decide to be your 15-year-old self within this 3D grid, as long as you can remember exactly how you felt and just feel that. Forget who you are now and just completely convince yourself that you are that then. This system will respond to your cymatic patterning. It doesn't care if you have wrinkles on your face or not. This whole thing here is going to react to how you feel and what you feel like, and you are now in charge of that, not it, because you don't have this television strapped to your head. Basically, I suppose what I'm trying to say in a very roundabout way is you are now in control of your output into reality, and therefore you're in control of what you get back out of this reality. So whatever it is, the only limitation is your own imagination. Whatever it is that you can recreate realistically, you can just put out there. And there's nothing the system can do except respond to the signals it's getting, because it's not complicated enough to look at several different layers and levels of you to determine which are the most accurate. Because the people it's dealing with on an everyday basis, they barely have enough RAM or like working memory to even just exist themselves, never mind having several different layers of existence. So yeah, just some thoughts and some ideas. The speed at which you're moving is absolutely paramount to this whole thing. I have slowed myself down and sped myself up, like on an existence level, not on a moving level, on purpose, and have seen greatly varying results. That's actually a pretty cool picture. So yeah, that's mostly what I wanted to go into. There's only one slide I didn't show. It was a picture that an artist's rendition of people moving through time. So if you could see each snake eating its own tail as like a flat 2D, like an animation flip book, where you draw like a stick man and it looks like he's walking when you flip the book. So you have a 3D grid patterning, and then you are in charge of your own flip book, and the rate like the speed at which the pages go. And then there's obviously the control system there getting pissed that you are awake inside the dream and able to do whatever you want. So, but you can move faster than them, so it doesn't matter. These are some of the, I don't want to say principles. These are just some of the observations I'm making about reality as it stands right now. And when I have more, I will definitely share it with you. So thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you again.